So that should start recording now. Awesome. Okay, so again, welcome everyone. This is our agenda for today's meeting. We'll just have some brief introductions so everyone can get to know each other. Then we'll get more into the actual presentation, which is how to actually get into crypto if you're not the most technical person in the world, aka me. So basically the resources that I found most helpful when kind of navigating crypto. And also, I'll be going through a lot of different things like books, podcasts, Twitter accounts that I found. But if anyone has any other recommendations, please just feel free to jump in and let me know. If you have a good resource that benefited you, I think other people could benefit from it as well. So definitely feel free to just jump in whatever. And then at the end, we'll do some voting on next meeting topics. So I threw a couple out there, but if you guys have anything else that you're interested in being a meetup topic, then definitely can bring that up as well. Okay, so with that, we'll just get into introductions. Here are some things that I think would be fun for everyone to sort of talk about and know about each other. So I guess I'll start. So hi everyone, my name is Mackenzie. I am your Codecademy Phoenix Crypto chapter leader. Super excited to do this. My profession, I'm currently an accountant, soon to be CPA for Honeywell Aerospace. So that's based out in Phoenix. Recently graduated from University of Florida, also with degrees in accounting. In terms of how I got interested in crypto and what my areas of interest are, I got into crypto because I actually know someone who works for one of the biggest decentralized applications on Ethereum. He works for MakerDAO as an integrations engineer, and just talking with him and learning about his job, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And there's also a ton of overlap between my traditional accounting world and then also this, crypto space and blockchain technology. I'm really into DeFi. I think it's super cool. Just having our traditional finance system transfer onto the blockchain, I think is going to happen one day, and I would like to be a part of that. Fun fact about myself: I actually tried coding in high school, and I absolutely hated it, and I would just get really angry. But I came back to it as an adult, and I'm actually really enjoying it. So it's funny how that happens. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Let's see, Nikhil, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. So I'm Nikhil. I work as a software engineer at Facebook. I normally live in California, but I am in Florida for the holidays with my family. And I got into crypto because of the same person that Mackenzie mentioned, actually. He's my roommate in San Francisco. He works for MakerDAO, as Mackenzie said, and he's actually right now starting his own crypto company. So he's trying to make some moves in the space right now. My fun fact is back in college, I lost a bunch of money on crypto back in 2017 during the bubble. So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
You should have
Fingers
held
crossed.
on. You'd be so rich right now.
Yeah, I wish I bought the dip right after. That would have been nice.
Seriously, that's okay. Learn from past mistakes.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining, Nikhil. Ashley?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Ashley. My profession is I'm pretty much the IT person for a small coaching and training organization in the Phoenix area. So I manage all things technology related, whether that's building our websites, managing them, updating our training portal, editing videos, all types of stuff. I wear multiple hats. In regards to my interest in crypto, this is actually my first exposure to it. My brother actually invested in Bitcoin when we were younger, and I know he made some good money off of it before the whole 2017 thing happened. And then since then, it's just kind of me diving into coding more and more. As for a fun fact, I'm actually double jointed in my hand, so I can move my thumb behind my hand.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And I can do it for both hands. And then I can also force my top little digit to go down. So.
Wow, that's a great fun fact. Wow, well, welcome to Phoenix Crypto.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. Okay, Mitchell. I think you're on mute.
I am. Hang on. How about now?
You're good.
Better?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Travis Mitchell. Some of you might know me as Mitchell Mint on some of the blogs over the crypto years. I actually, I'm an IT guy for an automotive dealership group. I've been in crypto for 9 years now. I've seen just about every exchange go down. I've launched 4 different coins. I currently have a project now, and DeFi is changing everything on how everyone is forcing themselves to be listed on an exchange. I really don't have a fun fact. I mean, I can't do anything fun with my hands. But no, I just started doing Code Academy. 2 years ago, I started doing some stuff in Code Academy. And then I saw that they had some of these groups together, and I looked at the word crypto, and this is the only crypto one. So let's hope this is the only crypto one for a long time. So that's pretty much what I got.
Yeah, well, welcome. Yeah, I talked to the Code Academy community person, and yeah, this is the only crypto chapter. They thought it wouldn't really get a lot of interest because it's kind of niche, but given today's events and the events of the past couple of weeks, I think it will definitely be growing in interest. That's for sure. All right, great. And then IRL feed. I don't really know what your name is, but yeah, if you could go.
That's Fede for Federico. That's short of my full name, Federico.
Okay,
I
Federico.
I
Hello.
was born in Spain. Hi. And IRL, I
Okay,
think you know what
nice.
that means. Let's see. Name, that's Federico. I was born in Spain. Profession, I'm switching in between jobs. I'm hoping to land something now in the sprint of January. Everybody seems to like to hire people when they get the new budgets for the year. So waiting for those openings. How did you get interested in crypto? Actually, I wasn't thinking much about crypto at all. I have a friend that is a lot into it. He does a lot of stuff with crypto, but I never really gave it much a thought. So I thought, hey, I'll just stop by the chapter, say hello, and learn something. Maybe I'll get hooked into it. My friend works at MasterCard, and he was telling me about how he uses crypto and how pissed off he is at fees with crypto. Like, I'm trying to pay something that's $15, it's costing me 18 and a half just because I'm using, crypto. So he was talking about the fees and like, whoever diminishes the fees to near zero, it's going to win the whole market and stuff like that. Fun fact, I participated in the hackathon in Hacktoberfest 2020, and I got my t-shirt last week.
Nice.
So that's pretty sweet. And the stickers from the Dev2 community. And also I ran the New York City marathon that they do in November. I tried to run it. I didn't get a bib, but then because of COVID, they did it virtually, so everybody could sign in. So I actually got to run it, and I'm waiting for my medal to get in the mail. So cool.
Wow, way cool. Awesome. Yeah, I agree with you about the fees. I was trying to do something the other day, and like the transaction amount was like $100 and the fee was 50 to send it through, and I was like, come on. So you're right, whatever gets the lowest transaction fees is gonna win out. So, okay, well, awesome. Thank you again to everyone for being here. Super excited to get into this. I think, yeah, no one else joined, so it looks like it'll just be us for this presentation. So awesome. So let's get into it. So getting into crypto part 1, this is broken up into multiple parts. So get ready for a resource dump, but also again, if you have anything to add, please just jump in and let me know. So part 1, what the heck is crypto? And this was my thoughts only a couple months ago. So one of the best things you can do is literally just go on YouTube and watch some of the biggest stories.
I think you muted yourself.
Now can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Well, I was saying Crypto Casey, awesome, best YouTube resource in my experience for crypto videos. She's very concise and clear. She breaks down really complex topics like, what is blockchain technology, which is inherently just kind of complex, but she is able to talk about it in a way that's very understandable. So these are the top 3 videos I would recommend to anyone who wants to get into crypto, because the thing is, like, I found that getting into crypto is kind of like studying for an extra class. There's a lot of time you sort of need to put in to understand these concepts because they're weird and they're not like anything that you might have heard of before. So first part for me is just automatically go to YouTube, see what's on there. And this is what I found. So yeah, and I was listening to a podcast and this guy was saying, like, yeah, I just watched YouTube videos on crypto for 3 days. And at the end of that, I really understood what it was about. So these resources are out here. So one of them is Crypto Casey, highly recommend. The next thing that hang on, get this. The next thing that I did to really kind of get involved in crypto and learn about what's going on is going to Coindesk. And this is sort of the Wall Street Journal of crypto, as I like to call it. They're a reputable news source that just reports on all things crypto, whether that's what's happening in the markets with Bitcoin or new developments with Ethereum 2.0. They just have so many great things on here. For example, they have a whole research hub. They employ research analysts to write these papers, which are easily understandable and they're just so clear on what's happening. They also come out with monthly reviews. They also have newsletters, and these screenshots on the right are some newsletters that I subscribe to that I love. So Blockchain Bites, it comes out every day actually. And it's just a sort of top headlines in crypto. And it also has any links to events that Coindesk is holding. So that's just another good way to sort of get involved with the community. And then the one down below is really interesting. It's called Valid Points. It's a newsletter that just started up. So Coindesk is actually, they have a validator on Ethereum 2.0, and the two people, Christine and William, who are writing the newsletter, they're sort of doing all the coverage for this. So really firsthand, first look at to what Ethereum 2.0 is and sort of what's happening. So this is probably the biggest publication I'd recommend. And their Twitter, of course, is really good just for instant updates about what's happening. And that's just Coindesk.com. And kind of related to that is webinars. So people in crypto, I mean, maybe it's just because there's a pandemic, but they love webinars. There's literally always something happening. I remember one day I just Googled crypto webinars and there was a whole website just dedicated to listing all the webinars that were happening that day across all the different websites. So I definitely recommend watching those. It's sort of real-time interaction with people in the crypto community. And these topics are pretty complex, but you have experts talking about them, like people who are actually software developers or people who are actually, staking Ethereum. And so some of them, one of those ones that I would recommend, Coindesk just did a How to Value Ethereum series, where they talked about topics like total value locked, what are gas costs, total transaction volume, which can kind of be misunderstood, but they really break them down well in this series. And Consensus also comes out with webinars. And then another bigger virtual conference, also called Consensus by Coindesk, that's happening next year. And that's one of the biggest ones within crypto. It's going to be virtual. And they actually have early bird tickets on sale for, I think, $29 now. So definitely look into that. And also all the different dApps for Ethereum specifically, they usually do have webinars. So for example, like MakerDAO, if you look on their events page, they have a list of all the virtual events that they're hosting or ones that they're just a part of. So you can really just go on any of these dApp websites and there's always a button that says events. And I usually just go to that and sign up for a bunch of them. And the great thing is all these are usually free, except if it's like a big conference like Consensus, but people really want you to understand crypto, these people that are already in it. So knowledge is pretty free floating. You just sort of have to find it and attend and engage with it. There's also a lot of good live streams on YouTube and Twitter, like Bitcoin Magazine. They have a live stream happy hour where it's just like dudes talking about crypto, which is always fascinating because they're like half drunk. But it's a good time. It's interesting. So yeah, definitely check out the webinars aspect of it as well. And I was going to put this at the beginning of this section, but it's very academic. So one thing that I think is essential to anyone who really wants to, crypto Twitch is pretty mellow. I've never looked at crypto Twitch before. Okay, well, I'll definitely have to check that out. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so back to basics, I really think people should read the white papers if they want to really understand crypto. So the most famous one is the Bitcoin white paper that first came out that kind of sparked all of this. And also the Ethereum white paper is really good. And what white paper just means, just a long document or abstract that kind of contains the technical, financial, and commercial information about what the protocol basically is. So the first thing I actually did when learning about crypto was just I read the entire Ethereum white paper, but I just took notes on everything. And if I didn't understand a particular term, like what's a Merkle tree, then I would just Google that and watch YouTube videos on that. So it's just a great jumping off point if you just don't really know what's going on, but you want to, then these are your go-to resources. They're just kind of heavy and sort of long, but still recommend them. And because of the Bitcoin and Ethereum white papers, it seems that every dApp out there has some sort of white paper. I just linked a couple here, but the one that I thought was most funny was CryptoKitties. It's not white paper, it's white popper, since they're all based around cats. It's just sort of the thing to do if you're a developer in cryptos to write a paper about it. So that's interesting if you want to do some light or heavy reading. Um, I know, I love CryptoKitties. I've never actually played it before. Just the whole concept is just, it's so funny to me. I will though. One day that could be a meetup at some point. So yes, white papers, definitely a must. And the next part is crypto Twitter. So you might hear the term CT, that stands for crypto Twitter. It's a very happening, sort of a strange, sometimes aggressive sort of place online, but that's where a lot of the crypto dialogue is happening. And it's really important to know which sort of accounts to follow so you know what's going on in the space. The first link that I have here, hive.one, is actually linked by the Ethereum.org website, and it shows a list of like the top 50 or 100 most influential crypto Twitter accounts. And it's people who are very influential in crypto. So of course, Vitalik, the creator of Ethereum, he's number one on that list. Definitely a must follow account. And then you've got some other ones like there's the official Ethereum account, official Bitcoin account. You can follow the accounts and popular dApps out there. Any publications. It's just a way to sort of aggregate news, but also aggregate what other people are saying about the crypto space. Because oftentimes what people are saying on Twitter affects how the price actually is. So it's all about expectations, I guess. And one person that I also like to follow is Christine Kim. She's a research analyst for Coindesk who comes out with a lot of those reports, and she writes that newsletter as well. So she just shares a lot of really great information. Let's see, Mitchell or Travis, would you say? Yeah, some Twitter accounts are rude but very informative. I would agree with that. I feel like that kind of summarizes crypto Twitter, honestly. So beware. I don't really engage with the law. I kind of just read what people are saying, but it's good to know. How many of you were born before 1988 when Merkle trees were invented? I certainly was not born before 1988, but that's funny. All right. So the next one is books. There's actually not a lot of books that at least I found on crypto. One that was just highly rated on Amazon was Crypto Assets, and I think Kenton has that book, right, Nikhil? I don't remember. Yeah, so that's a good book. CoinGecko just came out with the How to DeFi ebook, which I actually bought that one. I still have to read it, but on Goodreads, people were saying it's just a great intro to the space. It talks about traditional finance concepts, but also how that kind of translates to what's on Ethereum right now. And then the last one is Mastering Blockchain by O'Reilly. And O'Reilly's known for being a publisher of technical books. They usually have cute animals on the cover. And this one just came out a couple days ago, actually. It's the #1 book in crypto, at least on Amazon right now. And it just sort of talks about blockchain tech, but as you can see, it also gets into smart contracts. So it breaks it down in a more technical way if that's what you're looking for. So that's sort of the books that I found so far. And I think that's it for the resources. So basically, I just kind of aggregated all this information, and it's taken me a couple months. Still have a lot to learn, but doing this has given me a good basis for wrapping my head around what crypto is. Does anyone have anything else to add to this? Anything else that I missed?
Podcasts?
I was going to do podcasts, but it's kind of hard. Like, like Bitcoin Magazine has a podcast, but I haven't been able to find a definitive. Like, if you just search on Spotify, crypto podcasts, nothing good really came up. So a lot of these podcasts are just from other publications. There's not one that's independently about crypto, at least that I found.
Yeah, there's a few that I found
Yeah.
for Bitcoin that one of them's called like Unchained. This guy, Stephen Rivera, has a podcast that's basically like he interviews people in the space, and he's more interested in like the, I guess, societal disruption aspect of it versus like the cryptographic science or the monetary policy behind it. But yeah, a lot of the ones I found are very specifically like either Ethereum or Bitcoin, but not like broadly about the space as a whole, which is
Yeah. I feel like you have to get kind of niche though, because it's hard to just have. I mean, maybe you could, but if one's just about Ethereum, I feel like that's just better. You know. Okay, can you put that in the chat what that was called? So I'll definitely look into that. Yeah, we love podcasts. Travis, you're gonna say something?
Yeah. People send me like these manuscripts all the time into their books. A lot of people don't have the money to actually get their books published.
Really? Okay.
And so the guy who just sent me something is R.L. Breyer. He's out of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really read his stuff, but books exist. You just kind of have to ask for them in cryptocointalk.org.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
they
they're not
will,
published. Interesting.
right. They don't want to get their names on it and stuff. I'm sure this guy's a ghostwriter of some sort. He signed it differently than his name.
Why do they want their names on it?
Well, because the tax man cometh.
Ah, right.
One of
Forgot
the
about
things
that.
to really, preface everything is once you buy something and sell something, the government wants half of what you sell. Even if it's a penny, they want half the penny, they'll round it up.
Mm-hmm.
So be very
That makes
careful with
sense.
that. That's why a lot of people use their hidden names. I use Mitchell Mint everywhere, but people already know my name. So that's that's one of the things. So a lot of the publications, people don't want to get on the record of how to do it. There's
Mm-hmm.
also stuff like Series 7 or Series 66 investment stuff. You have to have a certificate to say, hey, you should buy this Bitcoin or you should buy Ethereum. If you actually say that it's a good idea, you're actually now on the hook for being an investor.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be very careful in this space about making sure that what you say is real. Like O'Reilly, they've had all kinds of different blockchain books, but they were afraid of publishing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
now that
makes
they're
sense.
publishing it, they feel that it's time to do it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that
That's all I got.
book's been the works for a while, but also like I was listening, they had a virtual launch party on Coinbase or on Coindesk, and they were saying that they were afraid that as soon as they published it, it would just be out of date like immediately, which will probably happen, but that's why they have multiple editions. So that's interesting. What was that website you said that you can find those unpublished manuscripts?
Oldest blog is cryptocointalk.org.
CryptoCointalk.org. I'm gonna put that in the chat here. Okay.
Yep.
CryptoCointalk.org. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you, Travis. All right, so that's it for the sort of background knowledge. Part two, I think, and the part that sort of I think can prohibit or at least stop people from getting more into the space is the technical aspects of it. So part two, getting technical. How do you even get into this space if you're not a computer scientist or a software engineer? Because for me, at least, that was so formidable of a challenge because I'm not, like, I don't really do that sort of thing. But thankfully, that's where Codecademy came in. They actually have a course on their catalog called Learn the Basics of Blockchain with Python. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is awesome. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And it was cool to see that Codecademy was sort of teaching about this in a more formal, sort of structured way. So this class is actually broken up into two parts. Part one is fundamental blockchain concepts. It's nothing technical. There's no coding. It's just sort of the theory of how the blockchain works. And I thought it was super helpful. And they have good examples as well. But then part two goes into how to actually build your own mini blockchain within Python. And I thought they were going to teach you Python in this blockchain class, but they don't. They assume that you sort of have a minimal or a base knowledge of Python. So when I realized I didn't know how to code Python, then I went to the Learn Python 3 course on Codecademy. So we're going to do that now. And I also would highly recommend that. I think once you finish that, then you'll definitely be able to go in and build your own mini blockchain. So resources are definitely out here on Codecademy. And I also want to put in a slide. So what if you're totally new to coding and you like have zero experience either in high school like me or throughout your career or anything? And again, I'd say, just go to Codecademy for that. I linked to their course catalog here, and the Codecademy does rock. They have so many great beginning courses. Like they even have one like learn how to code, but also they have more longer career paths such as code foundations or full stack engineer. So if you wanted to just get basic coding down, you can definitely do it through here. And some of them you have to have the pro account, but some of them are also free courses. So you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do with that. And Code Academy. One other just random resource I also want to mention is the MIT coding language for kids called Scratch. Now, I know it says it's for kids, but I actually use it to sort of just understand the whole logic of coding. And it's really cool. This is just a screenshot I got from it, but you basically just create like little graphic scenes that move using these blocks that you can snap together. And those different blocks represent coding logic without explicitly being written in code. So that's why it's easy for kids to do. So you're like, oh, if I click my mouse, then the cat moves 3 spots. So you can do that without having to write the code. But again, not just for kids. I think adults could benefit from this as well. So just wanted to throw that out there. Now, the other big thing, if you really want to get more on the developer side in crypto, then I'd highly, highly recommend going to Ethereum.org. It's a website behind the Ethereum Foundation, and they actually have a whole section devoted to developer resources. So, for example, they have technical documentation like Introduction to Smart Contracts. What does that mean? Just from a casual person's perspective and also from a developer's perspective. And like they have things like community submitted tutorials. They have coding sandboxes where you can just code within, a sort of a closed environment. And they also help you, set up a node or just any development sort of within this new protocol environment. So definitely would look at that as kind of, getting information for the horse's mouth, and I think it's super helpful. And I also want to touch on Solidity. So Solidity is a programming language of smart contracts in Ethereum. So that's smart contracts is kind of how Ethereum sort of runs. It's the next layer on top of sort of the base layer. I have a definition of smart contracts here, but basically Solidity, it's most similar to JavaScript. So if you're already sort of familiar with that, then you'll be able to write your own smart contracts, and they just execute code on Ethereum. And some good ways to learn. Of course, Udemy has a course. I checked today and it was 87% off because they literally always have a sale on Udemy. I like this sort of thumbnail too. So yeah, check that out. And I also saw this application called Crypto Zombies. Ethereum.org referenced this. And you learn Solidity by playing this zombie game. I haven't tried it out, but I will. So yeah, if you want to be more of a developer, then you sort of need these tools in order to create your own thing. So just want to throw that out there just because I thought that was really funny. And I also want to touch on the sort of miner validator tutorials. I don't really know too much about this since I'm not either one of those, either for Bitcoin or for Ethereum. But this is how you actually join the networks. And so basically you're a node, so a computer on the networks that processes these transactions that ultimately get added to the blockchain. So it's the backbone of it's the computing power. And you have to set up your hardware in a certain way to sort of process these transactions. I have a couple links here, like learn how to stake on Ethereum 2.0, which is the newest version of Ethereum, and then just some more resources for nodes and clients. So if anyone knows more about this, definitely feel free to speak up now, just because I don't really know too much about it. Okay. Oh, did you have something, Travis?
Well, I actually bought a set of servers to run Ethereum 2.0 and Ethereum 1.
Nice.
The reason why is last time Ethereum did something like this, they actually split from Ethereum to Ethereum Classic. So there's actually 2 Ethereum chains out there right now.
Okay.
And you can mine them both, but Ethereum 2.0 is going to, if I understand the history of everything, it's going to split again. And that means that anything that you have on Ethereum now will be on Ethereum 2.0, Classic, and the Ethereum that you have now. A lot of the projects split as they go along, especially when they do something this big, because like Bitcoin actually split into 3 different groups, and a lot of the new blockchains that come out just take the current blockchain, copy it, and then start their own chain from that point forward. So if you bought Bitcoin, 5 years ago, you have all these different coins just because they split off from that original blockchain. So it's a good idea to be aware of when they're going to split stuff and try to get ahead of those different divisions.
I didn't know that Ethereum was split into 2 different sort of blockchains. That's interesting. Okay. Huh. Let's see. Federico said adding complexity is definitely how you make payment universal and widely used. So you mean complexity in like talking about sharding in Ethereum, or what do you mean by that?
Whole thing, just making it as complex as possible, as hard as possible to get into into understanding any concept of it or how everything. I mean, he just talked about sharding and how 2.0 goes here that way. If you don't know anything about crypto and somebody comes and says, "Here you go, why don't you get in and start using it?" Somebody's gonna say, "Okay, look, I don't even understand what it is." So I think every layer of concept that you keep piling on top of it, it just makes it so incredibly difficult to make it for people to just accept it as something that is not strange and the hackers use to get you money.
I totally agree. I feel like if this was not as confusing, more people would actually want to be a part of it. Because it's hard. You meet so much resistance even getting into this space in the first place. Which I think is getting better. There's just like so much hype, though. I think that's the problem. Like Bitcoin going super high. Like there's a lot of hype, but is there a level of understanding to match that hype? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's an interesting point you bring up for sure. And I think that kind of relates to our next section, getting to crypto part 3, investing and interacting. So disclaimer, this is not investing in advice. It's more just how to actually start investing if you wanted to do so. It's only 1 slide. Bear with me in case no one's done it before. So I put this in here because I literally had no idea how to do this myself. And so I was like, well, I have money, but then how do I actually put it in crypto? Like there was such a big disconnect in my mind. And I think a lot of other people face that too. So of course, first thing I did was watch a crypto Casey video. So she's amazing. She has a how to buy crypto guide, and it's just like a half or it's a super long video, but she really walks you through how you do it. So first tip is just to learn what you're doing because crypto is really risky. So if you lose your money, then you're not going to get it back basically because there's no, federally regulated bank behind you that'll be like, oh, okay, like here's your money back. No, once you lose it, you lose it. So I think that's really important to sort of just know from the beginning. The second part is, okay, well, have my US dollars or whatever currency you have, how do I actually convert that into crypto? And Travis got it right. You just go to Coinbase. It's basically an exchange. So you can convert your, sorry, my camera, you can convert your fiat or your paper money to a digital asset. So you just download the Coinbase app and you link your bank account or your debit card and you just put in, okay, I want to spend $100 and get 0.0001 of a Bitcoin or whatever the ratio is now. So then that way you have these funds within your Coinbase wallet. Which brings me to my next point is you definitely want to store your crypto in a safe place. So that means you can have a hardware wallet, which is like a physical thing you can hold, and you can just store your funds offline, which decreases the chance of someone coming in and taking them from you. You can also just have an app. A wallet, the one I have here on the right is called Argent. That's the wallet that I currently have. So I just sent whatever I had in my Coinbase wallet over to my Argent wallet, which I thought was more secure for me. And then once you sort of have it in a centralized place, then you can start deploying your money into the protocol. So if you want to get into Bitcoin, you can hold your Bitcoins kind of like gold. The asset is just meant to appreciate in value. You don't really use it. At least that's what I've heard about it. And then if you want Ethereum, that's a little bit different. I've heard it compared to more of a commodity like oil. So you can actually deploy your ETH in different decentralized applications. And so like, for example, you can put it into a lending pool and earn interest on it. Whereas Bitcoin, you usually just hold it for the appreciation and value. So that's kind of just super high level. If anyone was confused about how you actually do it, this is how you do it. And it's kind of similar to, maybe a traditional system. You just exchange one currency for another, and then you either hold it or deploy it. So just wanted to put that out there. And one thing I also want to mention, which is super cool, is Coinbase Rewards. It's actually on the Coinbase app. If you log in, they give you a certain amount of tokens like Compound or CELO in exchange for watching educational content on them. So their tagline is "Earn crypto while learning about crypto." So you just have to do tutorials or watch videos, and they will literally give you some of those crypto assets. And I put on here, crypto exchanges and applications really want people to adopt their technology. And I think this just shows it. Like, there's so much educational resources out there. It's just adoption. And again, crypto is risky, right? So they want people to actually know what they're doing before they use their technology. So I just want to throw that out there. I haven't used it yet, but it's on my list of things to try. So just wanted to put that out there. Let's see, Travis said they will produce a 1099-C, so the IRS can estimate. I thought the IRS, they introduced something on the front page of the tax sheet or on the tax return, like how many crypto asset holdings do you have? But I think it's all self-reported, so I don't know how much the IRS actually can do about that, but they'll find a way. They will find a way. So part 4 is crypto communities, and you guys already know about this because you're here, which is awesome. Crypto is known for having sort of niche but really sort of passionate communities, which I think is awesome. So of course, I had to plug Phoenix Crypto. Again, thank you all for being here. I just wanted to put some links here to our social media. We also have a Discord chat and our Codecademy chapter page. And I also created a Notion doc. And Notion's basically just a note-taking app. And you can just go to this Notion page to see all the Google Slides meetings, any recordings, just sort of anything. So anything related to the chapter. So I just recommend checking out these links here. I saw on Twitter, this one person with like 300,000 followers followed the Phoenix Crypto Twitter, and I was like, what is happening? He's like some famous soccer star or something. I don't know. He's into crypto. That's cool. But yeah. The next part, I think, is super awesome. I'm really, really passionate about this. So women in crypto hasn't really been a thing, but it's becoming a thing now, which I think is awesome. I found this program called Sify, which is kind of a play on DeFi, just substitute D for she. And according to their website, they are an educational program that is also a vehicle to donate funds to nonprofits that educate women in STEM. So basically, it's just an organization to promote and connect women in crypto and sort of help them build wealth within DeFi. And they actually have a cohort that's going to be starting in February, I believe, where there's an application here if you want to be a part of it, but a group of women will be selected and get together and have weekly meetings sort of learning about crypto. And also, I think they're going to pool some funds to deploy in some sort of dApp to lessen the risk for the women involved. So yeah, if you're interested or know anyone who would be interested, highly recommend checking this out. So Sify. And of course, as Travis also mentioned, there's so many online communities. I just have a couple of them up here. There's bitcointalk.org. If you go to meetup.com and just put in crypto, there's so many meetups. The most popular one being Silicon Valley Bitcoin. It's got like 6,000 members or even more now at this point. Ethereum.org also lists out a bunch of Reddit threads that are related to crypto. Haven't really checked out these because Reddit's kind of iffy, but I'm sure they have good information. And there's also, you can join Discord or Telegram groups, but again, I just caution you, some of these can be kind of unsavory places at sometimes. So just sort of use your discretion with that. But yeah, if you do want to be part of crypto communities, I think this is a great time to be part of one, and it's also probably relatively easier to find them now. Okay, so that was it for the presentation that I had, but does anyone have any questions about anything we went over or anything you want to add? Just anything at all? Okay, awesome. Well, then we'll get into sort of the last part of this, voting and wrap up. So when I was sort of thinking about this chapter, I thought it'd be cool to have everyone vote on the meeting topics that they actually want to see. Because most meetings, I just don't want to be up here talking. I want it to be more sort of interactive and what people want to see, like other panels, coding demos, coffee and code sessions, like whatever. I think that'd be really cool. So I have some ideas thrown up here that I thought would be cool, but also if there's anything else that you want to see, definitely just put it in the chat or speak up. And if not, for voting, I just ask that you type the letter of what meeting you want to see in the chat, and then that way we can sort of vote on what we want to see. So I guess I'll just go through them. The first meeting topic I thought would be cool is, what does a crypto research analyst actually do? So that's basically just an interview with someone who's actually in the field. And it doesn't have to be a crypto research analyst. It could be like a integrations engineer or a community event person for crypto. So yeah, I think that would just be interesting to have a sort of interview. The next one would be a little more technical or theoretical heavy, which would be traditional finance concepts translated into DeFi. So sort of breaking down the different dApps that are out there, the most popular ones. So one example I can think of is you have a traditional finance concept of a derivative, right? Super popular on Wall Street, but what does that look like in the crypto space? So I think that'd just be interesting to know kind of what's going on. And then next one, how to actually code a block in Python step by step. So just sort of following along the Codecademy course and figuring out together. If anyone has any questions, they can ask them then as well. Next one that the Notre Dame chapter actually did, they had a coding and coffee session where everyone just like chatted for a bit and then they just like put the headphones on and started coding, which I think was kind of cool. Could also be happy hour. I'm open to both. I think both could be really fun. And then anything else, you can put E and just sort of type or say what you would like to see. So yeah, does anyone have any questions on any of that or anything they want to add to this? What does the chapter need? What do you mean? Do we need a page content? Oh yeah, we already have all that. I can actually show that to you if that would help. Hang on. Yeah, I can show you the chapter page and also our Notion page as well. I think that would help. All right, so this is our chapter page that we have now. Yeah, so this sort of has already everything about our chapter about. It's also got our events, and there's also a blog post I did today, which is basically just a newsletter that was sent out a couple days ago. So yes, we sort of have this built out already, but definitely want to get more events on here. So I think that would attract a lot more people as well. Is this what you were talking about, Travis, or were you thinking about something else?
Button's broken. Come on.
Okay, we can hear you.
We have a board page on Codecademy. I'm just trying to figure out what it would take to start getting more people to be included in the chats. So having a celebrity would probably be best rather than everyone learning a lesson from Codecademy.
Right, I would agree. For in terms of like getting more people, if we had like,
Sure.
obviously not realistic, but if you had Vitalik come, for example, like that would explode. So maybe not on that level. Honestly, if you did, I think I would die a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I think that would be really cool. And also, I found that people in crypto really want to talk about crypto to other people, no matter if it's just like a small chapter like ours. So I think, yes, that would be really awesome. Okay, so it looks like option A. Do you think a research analyst is okay? I was going to try to message Christine Kim and ask her what she does, but there's also a ton of other research analysts out there. Does that sound good, or what do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Okay, well, I will try. It doesn't necessarily, I'm just going to message a ton of people, and honestly, whoever responds that like does something cool in the crypto space will probably just sort of go with that. But I'm really optimistic, so that should be fun. Okay. And then let's see, January, I'm going to try to have 2 meetings in January. I might only be able to do one just with, I'm an accountant, so year end, sort of closing the books and stuff like that. But we'll try to have 2. So, okay, awesome. I'm super excited. So that was, the Notion page. Let me just show you this real quick. So you guys can see what it is. So this is just, so it loads, my note-taking app. Okay. And these pages are private except for the Phoenix Crypto one. That one's public. And it is called CryptoKitty. So the one that is public, the one that's public for everyone is the Phoenix Crypto Hub. And so you can go to this page, you can see all the links related to our chapter. If you have any other meeting ideas, you can submit them in this Google form. And you can also see the upcoming meetings on our calendar. Any presentations will be linked here. And also the resources we talked about today, I'm also going to link them in this tile right here. I also thought it'd be cool to have club member bios where everyone can go and sort of like put their picture, their name, sort of what they do. I think that'd be cool to sort of build a community with everyone. So I'll get that built out in the next couple of days. Yeah, and I also recommend going to our Discord because that's probably the easiest way to get in touch with everybody. At one time, it'll just be sort of like our group chat. So yeah, this is exciting. I'm excited to see what we do with this club and the members that we get. So awesome. Does anyone have anything else? Because that's it for me.
You already had an intro meeting, right, in this chapter? So like this is your meeting 2.
Right. Yeah. When intro meeting 2 weeks ago, It was just I didn't realize I had to make everyone host to be able to see everyone. So it was just me sort of talking. But yeah, we got a couple people, which is cool. Yeah, second meeting.
No, I was asking because I don't know. I don't want to assume how much you've already explained, like coming into this meeting, like how much you assume already that people know. But coming from, like I said at the beginning, like not knowing anything about crypto at all, I would like to know, like, if you can clarify a little bit of when you say we could either have professionals come in and talk about what they do, or we can talk about coding a blockchain, or we could talk about how do you get your hands on some crypto yourself or stuff like. Could you clarify for me? When you get into crypto, getting in crypto, like does that mean, because I'm thinking of crypto has a currency, has a traditional currency, right? I'm thinking about it as something that has value that you want to have because other people want it too. But it seems like you can also get into crypto just for, I want to have my own money printer that, right? Like I'm gonna like if I could just get a copy of the Federal Reserve money printer and start printing dollars, right? Like I'm just gonna get one. So can you clarify a little bit of like how many ways there are in getting into the world of crypto, like what it means? Like, I'm assuming that anyone can get into it, but only the people that have like these warehouses in Iceland with like thousands of racks of 3090s and SLI all hooked up together. Those are the only ones that are going to make real money. Like, can you clarify a little bit like the whole world, how it splits in pieces and like how people get into it?
Yeah, I think, yes, you're right. The term getting into crypto can mean a lot of different things. One of them could be getting in to invest and potentially make a lot of money. When I say getting into crypto, I mean just getting into sort of the crypto community and the crypto space, not necessarily putting all your money into it and just betting everything on it, but also just kind of understanding that this technology does have the potential and probably will fundamentally change a lot of things in the future. Like it'll change what value means. It'll change how we exchange value, financial institutions. So I also think it's more of a broader perspective, like getting into crypto, getting into this mindset that this technology will sort of change a lot of things. So, and it can also be just like more casual, like if you just have a passing interest, like, oh, I think this technology is interesting, I want to learn more about it. That's sort of what getting into crypto means for me. But also I think getting into crypto can also mean I want to be a developer. I want to be the person actually building these things. So then you get into the whole, I want to create a dApp one day, or I want to like work on, the underlying blockchain software technology. So yeah, it means like you have the term getting into crypto and then you have like 20 different branches sort of coming out of it. This chapter is not going to be about giving investing advice or like people it's not for those whales that have millions of dollars in crypto. Like that's not really what this is. This is just a place for people who have an interest in crypto and maybe you want to create in this space one day to sort of come together and talk about interesting topics, talk about, what's cool that's going on right now. What do we think is cool technology that will potentially change things, like, Bitcoin reaching 23K. I think that's something cool that we can talk about. So it's more of a community base versus more like investor sort of base. Does that help clarify things?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just that coming from a traditional perspective, I'm trying to compartmentalize everything, sort of like, oh, maybe getting into crypto. It's kind of like, well, I'm interested in the compliance side of the government, while other people are interested in investment banking.
Accounting,
like,
regulation.
Okay,
well,
it's all finance, right? It's like all finance, but there's like a million ways of going about it. So I was just trying to understand what people usually mean by that.
I mean,
and since you guys have been, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go for it.
Oh no, I was gonna say that since it sounds like you guys have been into this for a while, is there like a sense that at some point the party's gonna be over, the government's gonna swoop in and be like, we're just gonna make our own, and we are gonna, since we write the law, we're gonna tell you that this is all over, and we take over. Like kind of like if the Central European Bank said we're gonna have a crypto euro and we're gonna write this set of laws that says that no other crypto runs without our permission. And like that's it. They could just write laws and legalize everything, right? Like, is there a sense in the community of like, the bigger, the better it gets, the more chances that they're just gonna swoop in and take it? Like, right, as long as it's immature, nobody cares about it, so they let you play with it. But the moment it becomes big enough, they're just gonna kind of like swoop in and like that's it.
Yeah, have you seen the Stable Act that was proposed a couple weeks ago? It's that actually is that it's U.S. government trying to regulate stablecoin issuance, and anyone that like touches, like if you're a node and you verify a stablecoin transaction, you're potentially subject to regulation and you have to get a bank license, which is like a huge deal if you're just some casual crypto node runner, like somewhere in the world. Like that's kind of a big thing. So that's the first instance of regulation I've seen that's like very overt. Yeah, like a lot of the nodes are what I see getting, as Travis said, targeted for regulation. But I don't know. Since it is sort of spanning the whole world, I think it'd be hard for one government to just sort of swoop in and take everything, because it's going to be all the different governments fighting over it. So I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. Probably. It's just hard to know what that looks like.
Because I know that my wife, since she works in compliance banking, she actually has to disclose to her employer when she makes investments and stuff like that. She has to disclose it to them, like
even crypto investments?
Because it could be a I don't know. That's why I'm asking about regulation. Because it could be a huge sort of what's it
conflict of interest? Yeah.
Yeah, because she's investigating. I mean, she's in compliance, right, for corresponding banking. So like when she's looking at all this, like you can't have money put into some of these companies abroad that might be, operating in sanctioned countries or something. So I know that she has to disclose everything to her employer, and I don't know if crypto also falls into that category. Sounds like right now it's not very well regulated, so maybe not, but maybe yes.
So, I think eventually, yeah.
I don't know.
Especially like as Travis was saying, like the IRS, I saw some Wall Street Journal article that they're starting to put that into your tax return now. Like, do you have this? Which to me, that indicates that that's a harbinger of regulation, So I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of the big four public accounting firms. They have crypto divisions now, like crypto regulation divisions. And while like there is no set crypto regulation, that FASB, like the main public accounting oversight board, they haven't come out with anything yet. But it's because I feel like they don't really know what's going on. But once they sort of see what's happening, I feel like they will, because it's a store of value, right? And accounting is all over that, because there could be scandals or whatever. So especially as larger companies, like public companies, start investing in crypto, like holding it in their treasury, like, yeah, that's going to be targeted for regulation. But who knows what that's going to look like? IRS would just release their coin. I wish the government could keep up that fast. That's hilarious. Wow. That'll be the day, honestly. They'll probably happen at some point. Maybe not for like 25 years or something. Who knows? Travis has got it all figured out. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I actually had to go to another meeting for my real job, my day job. So, yeah, thank you to everyone so much for coming. This was awesome, great dialogue, and I hope the presentation also was helpful. So you sort of know more about crypto now and more of how to sort of get into it, as I say loosely. So awesome. Okay, yeah, definitely be on the lookout for any newsletters and for our next meeting invite the next couple of weeks. All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.